Alright, welcome to the Joker channel. I'm Joker. Nice to meet you all. Today I'm going to be going more into depth of, given what I should have done in the first video, but I had other things on my mind to talk about, and I didn't touch bases on this. Let me go into more depth of what I was saying. So we're going to be dipping on some Copenhagen wintergreen. Now, what I'm going to say. I'm just gonna go step by step of what you should do in the step by step first process. Now, a few things you need to know is find yourself a bottle or a pop can. I would say preferably a bottle, since it has a lid and it's screw-on and it doesn't spill. So find a bottle with a lid if you can. If you don't, just get a pop can. Just make sure you don't spill it, because dip spit fucking reeks. And it's not that easy to get out of carpet. What you need is you'll need some dip. Now, dip of choice is up to you. Some people say shy away from natural dips, like Copenhagen long cut, original, and Snuff. Snuff I would truly stay away from, because if you're a beginner dipper, you do not know how to dip that whatsoever, because that's really hard to pinch and it takes some practice. Even some experienced dippers can't even dip Snuff. If they do, it's small pinches, and they gotta take small pinches at a time, toss them in at once to get a decent lip or a medium lip or a normal lip for them. But anyways, I would go with a straight or a mint, like Skull Mint. That's a perfect beginner dip, because it tastes similar to, in my opinion, hold on, let me darken that screen. It tastes similar to gum. If you can, find Skull Spearmint. That even tastes more like gum. But go for it. I'd say go for a straight or a mint. You can go for a wintergreen, but that'll burn your gums at first. So if you're a beginner dipper, just stick with straights, or go with a mint. You can go for the fruity flavors, but that's all up to you and your taste wise, because some of those, I'm not gonna lie, some of those do taste horrible. They're alright for every other, once you start dipping and you want to try them. But for a beginner dipper, they say go for the fruity. I'd like to disagree on the terms of, some people, when you're dipping, don't want a fruity flavored dip. I want to call them an acquired taste. You can go for those. I'm not saying don't, because those are great starter dips. I'm just saying you might not like them due to they might taste shitty. So I know straights and mints are actually decent starter dips from dipping them, and just from what I got from reviews and whatnot and other people, I would never go for a fruity dip, only for the fact that I don't want to ruin that flavor, say apple or grape or peach, even though I don't like peach, or cherry. I like cherry flavored stuff. I also like apple flavored stuff, and I also like berry flavored stuff. So I would go personal preference. Just a hint: go for a straight or a mint. Wintergreen, don't go for. It's gonna burn like hell, and it's just gonna be awful for you for your first time. But for your first time, go for a straight or a mint. Mint doesn't really burn. Some say it burns, but when I did it, it didn't burn. Actually, the wintergreen burnt more, and I didn't even get a burn. Straights, you don't get a burn, so go for straights. And if you want to try a flavored dip, Well, straight is a flavor dip. It's a sweet dip, but I don't know how I'd classify it because I don't really think of it straight as a flavored dip. What I mean by flavored is like this is flavored, but straight's not original. It's just a sweet dip. That's what I'd go. It's a sweetened dip, not a flavored type. Because what you think of flavor is you think of like when you think of flavoring, you go for like Skull has apple or a mint or something like that. But straight is a flavored dip. It's just a sweet dip. So stick with something that's going to be easier on you. So like if you want to try Copenhagen, go for a Copenhagen straight. Copenhagen doesn't really have much flavored dips. They have Southern Blend and they have mint, but it's not everywhere. So if you want to go for Copenhagen and a starter, stay away from the naturals. You can try wintergreen, but it's just a heads up, it's gonna burn like a motherfucker. So stick with the straight first, and then move on from there. I mean, if you want to go for a natural, go for a natural. But from my personal experience, from doing natural as my first dip, I wish I went for a straight or even wintergreen, because that even though I liked it at the end when I first started dipping, I almost turned away from dipping because of the straight, or not the straight, the original. Because when I first started dipping, I dipped. My first can was actually Copenhagen original long cut, and I got a buzz from hell, and I put the same size pinches. I'll show you here in a minute, but that's not the way to go. Even though it was soft on the gums, it didn't burn. But the buzz from hell and the smell, when you first smell it, it smells different than what it tastes like, I found. So if you want something, go for like a straight, because the straight, I mean, it smells pretty good. So when you open the can, it's not gonna knock you on your ass because it smells bad. It doesn't taste too bad. But if you don't want to go for a straight and you want to go something similar to what you know and not ruin it for you, like the chance the fruity flavors have, go for a mint, like Skull Mint. That's a good starter dip, I would say, in my opinion, because it's a mint. Everybody knows what mint tastes like, and it doesn't shy away from mint flavoring to an actual god honest mint. And then, and it doesn't have like that. I mean, it does have a semi-bad aftertaste. Like, after it's been in there for a while, it tastes kind of artificial. But what dip don't? I find that with Copenhagen wintergreen too. It just takes it longer. But you leave a dip in long enough, other than a natural, then it's gonna taste bad. No matter what you're gonna do, because they have artificial flavoring in them. But anyways, either go for a straight or a mint. Another thing is start going like this. Get in the habit of going like this to loosen up your index finger. How you do that is you take your middle finger and your thumb, pinch them together, and then fling your wrist. Get this to slap right here. Right here. Get it to slap right here. Once you do that, you'll be fine. And then once you pick up your can, what you want to do is you're going to want to crack it. How you crack it is it's easy to turn it upside down. You don't have to turn it upside down, but it's easier. Take your fingernail or something that has an edge that can get into this groove, because there's paper from the bottom, or it's the labeling. The labeling covers the lid. That's how it keeps it fresh. So what you want to do is take it upside down and go take your object or whatever, knife, fingernail, and just go along, poke a hole in it, because it'll be straight up paper, but you can build, there's a little bit give in there, there's a groove right around here, right here, you see where my nail is? right here. Shit. Okay, see right where it's cracked, where I cracked it, right here, that C is? There's a groove right there, where the lid meets the can. And you just go along that, poke a hole, go along there if you can. Get it inside the can, a little bit, inside the tin lid, and just go around it. If it's easier, just poke a hole, take your fingers like this, and just run it through, or you can take your fingernail. Whichever way is easier for you, take a knife, whatever, it doesn't matter, just as long as you crack it, like that, crack it. You can even take the paper off. Really not necessary for the paper, but you can take the paper off. Okay, now, once you get in the habit of doing this, and you get your can, you don't have to pack your first. Once you open the can, you don't have to pack it because it's already pre-packed, because they got to fill the tin a certain amount, and it's usually packed. But you can pack it. I pack them, but that's only because I have. That's because I put my old tins, what I have left over from the tin I was just dipping, I put it in there. Okay, so once you get that out, once you take your first dip, put a small dip in. So, let me show you. Okay, see, it's semi-packed. It looks similar. Hold on. Really? Some light. Need that light. Hold on. Let's unplug this for a second. Okay. So, well, it looks similar to this. It'll be like packed and compressed. Now, once you take your first initial dip out of there, you'll need to pack it. So, before you start loosening this up, it's a good idea to loosen this index up. And get a can, start going like this, or if it's easier for you, go inside. And just flick your wrist and hit this on the can. Your index finger on the can. It's not good. And some people say three packs is all you need. That's debatable. Sometimes you don't. You need more than 3 packs. I packed it. See? What? See? It's packed. Let me get you up off here. See? It's packed. Okay. It'll look like something. There'll be like a crevice right there if you pack it, and might be more. But if you pack it, there'll be a crevice where it looked like it took a dip out of, and that's okay because that's how it's supposed to look. So, what I do is I take my finger and I stick it in that crevice from where I took the dip out of, and I push it down. I push it more towards it so it compacts it, so it's not going to go all together. Now, another suggestion is to put your lid under your dip can. So if you drop anything or you're taking a pinch, then it falls on that lid and you can put it back in there, because you don't want to waste dip. Dip's delicious. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take a pinch. Now, I'm going to take a smaller, I'm going to take a pinch about what a beginner should take. Like, okay. So this is about the same, about size you want to take as a beginner. See, it's a small pinch. And what you want to do when you put it in your lip, okay, put it in your lip. Take your thumb. You don't even have to pull out your lip to do this. And this is something a beginner can do. You don't need practice. Take your lip. Hold on, I gotta spit. I had dip in before, but I took it out and remade the video. So, it's a little bit easier to show how to put a pinch in. So, what you're going to do is take dip. What you're going to do, okay, can. lid. Can lid's gonna look like this. So in case you drop anything. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pinchers. Yeah, that's all you need. Okay. See? Nothing in there. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is pack it on the same side I had it packed on. So what you're gonna do is take your pinch, open your mouth. Now once you get it in your mouth, push on the side like this. Here. So you use your index finger or use your pincher fingers. Either you'll use your index finger or your thumb, but push it out, slide it in, boom, turn. Alright, so when you got it into your lip, push out like this, slide it in, and then you can either turn it like this and then drop it in, or just so you can turn it like this, or stretch out, or you can turn it like this and put it in. I find it if you turn it to the side and then stick your dip in, it's a lot easier. And I'll show you with a bigger dip, because that was shitty. Okay, let me take the pinch I had. Okay, see? Now that's the pinch I had after trying to show in the last video. It was originally about half that size. So what you're gonna do is, it's a little gob. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it. Oh, here out. Turn it. Stick it in. And use your tongue when it's in there, because you're not going to be able to settle it in your cheek. So take your tongue, pack it down. So, like this. Okay, you got a tongue like this. Stick your tongue over your teeth and go, push down. Now, once you got it packed, don't swallow. And have a not swallowing dip when it's in your mouth. Train your body. Spit. But when you spit, push your cheek, go like you're gonna kiss, like this. Leave a little opening like this. Or your shoulder there. And push out with your tongue. So when you spit, I don't know if you can see that. Make sure before you spit you pack down. Yep, and then you help like that. You push it out, so you force the spit out. So you go like this. So that's. But what you do is put your tongue behind. Hold on. You don't have to put your tongue behind it, but just work your tongue first. And then spit. I'll show you again. And make sure once you spit, because it'll push some dip up, pack it down with your tongue. I mean, you don't even have to. For the beginning, you can pull out your lip, but I wouldn't. That gets you into a bad habit. And learn to pack with your tongue, because it looks nasty when you stick your fingers in there and start playing and packing it down. That's just annoying to watch someone pack it down with their finger when they got a lip in. If you see me do this or this, I'm just situating the dip, because my tongue can't go that far. So, it's okay if you dip, go a little too far that your tongue can't pack down. Stick your finger in there, and move it up. But that's the only time I'd say it's acceptable is when you're adjusting your dip to your mouth, to the lining of your gum. Now don't worry if well you got the dip in. If it feels awkward in your lip. Your first few dips, it will feel awkward. Okay, so like this. You use your tongue to push up the spit, and you blow out. What you're using your tongue for is to cover the hole, so you don't spit out dip. Okay, so we covered that. Okay, so cover spitting. Spit in a bottle. I would highly suggest spit in a bottle with a lady for a few times until you're sure that you're gonna dip and you feel okay that you're gonna dip long enough to spend money on it. Spend money on a mud jug or any spittoon. I would go for a mud jug. They're a little pricey here and there, like the limited edition. But they're good. They're a good thing. They don't spill past the point. They don't really stink. And if they do, if you leave them in your car when it's hot, anything's gonna stink. Helpful hint is when you get a mud jug, put some dish soap in your mud jug. Take the point off, put some dish soap in there, and it won't smell. It'll mask the dip spit smell. But trust me, you keep spitting in a bottle, and you open that bottle, and you've had the bottle for a few days, and it's not ready to empty or not tossed away. It reeks. And if you're worried about the side effects like tooth loss, gum disease, and your gum lines receding, and mouth cancer, for one, you're less likely to get you can get mouth cancer, but when you get cancer, it's from various things, and it's not just from one thing. Tooth loss and mouth, or gum disease and tooth loss, those are easy to avoid if you have proper mouth care. At least brush your teeth once a day when you're dipping. You can brush them twice, brush them normally if you do it 2 times a day. But if you don't, brush them every day, at least once a day. Your gums, here's a helpful hint. Switch sides. When you're a beginner dipper and you're taking those smaller dips, go for the front. But, front here, just don't go past here on your cheek lines, like where your lip is. Like this, the red part of your lip. Don't ever go past that until you're taking medium-sized dips. Always, say this, when you're taking the smaller dips, as I stated in the front, you should, as a beginner dipper, dip from here, from this line to this line. Here. Where my tongue was poking out, that bump, this bump, here. So from here to here, that's where you should dip when you're a beginner dipper. Now don't worry about your gums. Your gums, they will recede, but they grow back. That's how your gums work. If you're worried about tooth loss, I just said that. Just keep your mouth, just brush your teeth. Even smokers should brush their teeth because they can get gum disease and tooth loss as well. You can get lose teeth and gum disease from eating, drinking. How you avoid that is brushing your teeth, going to see a goddamn dentist. You don't even have to see a goddamn dentist. Just brush your teeth every day. I mean, if you don't, you brush them every other day.